Hey everybody, this is your girl Shantanique Langston, better known as Neek Speaks. I am your personal and professional relationship coach, and I'm also the creator of the Relationship Conference, where we promote healing in the area of singleness, marriage, and family dynamics. It's Sunday. I never go live on Sunday. This is so unorthodox for me, but I am grateful for all the things that God is doing in this season. And of course, this is the holiday season, and a lot of people are dealing with so much pressure. And of course, when is a better time than now to help people navigate during the holiday season? And of course, I have none other than my girl Paige Edwards, who's on today. We are going to talk about the importance of breath work because we are all, most of us, not everybody, is on a hamster wheel. Okay, so even though I'm on a healing journey, my mind still races. Okay, period. So I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm perfect because I'm not. All right, we are all in a process of becoming better every single day. And so breath work is very important when we're dealing with a lot of stressors on a day to day basis. And no one has really talked about the importance of doing this until recently in mental health. So that's why I have my girl Paige, who's going to talk us through this process. But before we do that, I want her to go ahead to reintroduce herself to you all before we get started. Go ahead, Paige.
Hi everyone, I am Paige. I am a limited license social worker, a therapist who sees adults, so anyone 18 plus. Today we're going to talk about breath work, why that matters, what happens when you don't breathe, some little exercises, types of breath work, things like that. I'm super excited to go into it because the breath is so important for what it does for regulating our nervous systems, calming our mind down, getting out of that autopilot rat race mode, and just coming back to that present moment.
Yes, and I have to just shout you out because during our the preview, Paige led us into the breath work experience and how we opened up. So I thank you so much for that because it was well needed. The people needed it. I felt the energy of the people. Oftentimes, our body is not, used to just being still, and that's our whole problem. Even my students have a hard time just being still for like 5 seconds because they're so used to being overstimulated. So when we're overstimulated, you can't be still, and that's something that we have to regulate. So that's why my students find themselves getting in trouble and all the things. But that's why doing this work, and I always tell my students, when you listen to the calming instructions, it helps you, it decreases your behavior. So, and I let them see, like I make them pay attention to their patterns. And did you do the breath work? Well, why not? Because I have students who say it's boring. We'll get to that. I want to talk about that because even some adults think like that too. So,
Hmm.
because again, they have not been exposed to in their own life. But anyway, I appreciate the breath work. We're gonna be doing this during the retreat too, y'all. Okay, because we need to understand that this is not the devil. I don't want to go into that, but there are some Christians out here who think doing this type of work is something of Satan. Is crazy how lost we are as a people. But I don't want to go into that right now. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Y'all bear with me because I'm trying to make sure I got everything up and running right. Okay. So what we're going to talk about today, why does breath work matter? And these are the three things that people really don't understand why this is important. So, Paige, you want to go ahead and enlighten the people? Because I can talk about it, but
Yeah. So, as it says on the slide, why breath work matters. Breath connects us to the body and the mind. A lot of us like to live up in our heads. So, this is a good way to sink ourselves back into the body. It calms the nervous system. So, a lot of the times we are in fight or flight or survival mode. So, when we intentionally connect back to the breath, we are activating the parasympathetic nervous system. Sorry, that was a mouthful. So we're shifting the body from our stress mode into rest and digest. So simply rest, recovery, and a calm state of being. And it creates space for release within the body. So this can release muscle tension, reducing pain or any sort of physical discomfort, even getting discomfort out of the brain because we are putting oxygen in the brain with breathing. So improving focus and clarity and emotional balance. Um, and on top of it too, we're creating space to process and respond rather than reacting when we're overwhelmed. If we are in a state of distress, overwhelm, just being overactivated, we're not going to think regularly. But when we stop, pause, take a deep breath, and go, we come back to ourselves, and it might take some time, mind you, might take anywhere from a minute, might take up to 30 minutes to calm down if overactivated, but coming back to ourselves so that way we can respond accordingly and not say something that we might regret later on. I know we've probably all have been there. So, it's okay to just stop, pause, take that deep audible breath. I'm going to emphasize the audible because when we are taking small, shallow breaths and we are not being loud about it, yes, take up space with your breath. We are human, we can breathe. Take up that space, be loud. We can come back to ourselves, we can come back to our people, we can come back to this space that we exist in.
Yes, I love this. Listen, we have people who are on today. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. We are talking about the importance of breath work, and you tapped on quite a few things that I've been doing in my healing journey that I never did before I started doing the work, for real. And the breath work, it helps. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm calmer. People have noticed, like, wow, you're just really chilled. But let me tell you, when you start doing the actual going grounding, doing the trauma release, when you start doing those different things, you're going to humble yourself. You're going to be more relaxed. You're going to slow down in doing certain things. You're going to pace yourself. Your stress level will go down. You will begin to start prioritizing what's important. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why the breath work is so important because again, if you are superwoman, superman to everybody, how when do you stop to take a breath?
Mm.
We hear cases all the time of people who go to sleep and they pass away and they sleep because they're worn out by doing everything. No one's checking on them. This is your moment right now to check in with yourself. You matter before anybody else, before your phone rings, somebody say, I need, stop. You need to pause, inhale and exhale before you pick up that phone, before you look at that text message. What you need now? No, none of that. This is all about
Mm-hmm.
you. And that's something I had to really deal with this year is with as far as my healing. I had to really look at who's really checking for Neek. Am I checking for Neek? Like, are you checking for Paige or whoever's watching? Are you checking for yourself? Because that's important. If you don't check in with you first, how can you be an asset to other people? I refuse to give people my cup. The only thing they're getting at this point in my life is the overflow. If I don't have no overflow,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? You're not getting that. And that all comes from doing the breath work. What's important? You gotta put you are important. So I had to say my two cents on that because
No, that is okay. I want to add to that is that
yes,
we are not machines. We cannot keep going. We must stop. We must rest. If we don't rest, well, that'll catch up to us later on. If we're not taking that breath, that'll catch up to us later on. And I also wanted to touch on something you said earlier about how this healing work, breath work, pausing, all of it can be boring. But when we're go, go, go all the time, and we're used to that chaos, especially if we come from trauma, taking that moment to pause when we don't have that stimuli in the background, yeah, that's going to be boring because boring means peace. And when you are not used to peace, oh, that's going to rattle your system. And that takes reprogramming the brain to go, wow, nothing's going on. This feels good. This is okay. You are safe. You don't need stimuli that keep activating you to feel like that's being functioning. You could be functioning while resting. How do you expect to get up to take care of yourself the next day? How do you expect to get up the next day to take care of your people? You have to slow down. You have to be in those moments of boredom. Find your peace. It comes from within and it ripples out, and you will notice it. Takes time, but you will notice it.
Yes, I love that you said that because um, there are people who are dealing with trauma. They're so used to it that they're numb to
Mm,
anything that's pure.
yep.
Anything that's pure is boring, and
Mm-hmm.
that's a fool's tale. There's so many people who are just on the surface. It's a lot of people on the surface because they're not doing no work. I don't even care if they're saying they're healing or not, because if they were doing it, they wouldn't even be on social media. Okay, like you would not. You wouldn't even pay attention to what's going on because you're so focused on you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, prioritizing what's important. Social media is not important. I repeat, social media is not important. Majority of you all who use it troll people, watch people, lurk. You're overstimulated by what somebody else got going on. You feel in a certain way. Yeah, that's how you know it's not important. Okay, so I know I'm going deep, but it's the truth. You have to come away from certain things in order to heal properly. And so for me, again, it looks different for everybody, but I will say, you know what overstimulates you. You do. So you need to pay attention to, why is that thing overstimulating me, and why can't I regulate my nervous system? So this, again, this is the why behind the breath work, you all. There's nothing demonic about it. Nothing is wrong with this. We've been taught backwards. We got to get back to self. How can you tap into who God is if you don't even know who you are?
Mm,
And that is the truth. You got to know who you are in order to even know God's true nature for your life. And half of you don't know that. That's why we're on here today. That's why you're watching, because you're finding out who you are all over again. And that's beautiful. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So let's move on. We just turned into an hour. So these are
yep.
the different types of breath work. For me, the boxing helps. I'm a teacher. Hello. So I know that different types of breath work helps, or the outcomes are different for everybody. So these are the three. And no, is there should be more than this, but I know these are the main ones.
There is so much.
Yeah,
There is so
yeah.
much.
These are the ones that are most common.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead, Paige.
So there's box breathing or square breathing. Both of them are the same. The concept is just tracing a little box. I'm not telling you to actually trace a box when you do this, but maybe in your mind. Essentially, it is inhale for 4 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then exhale it for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then holding that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then inhaling, repeating the process. So with this, it is creating a calm rhythmic pattern for the nervous system, lowers stress, especially during anxiety or panic. And mind you, breathwork exercises, they do have specific niches for, whether that's for calming down for anxiety or panic, grounding, whatever you might be looking for. So be in mind of that. This increases focus and presence. So this is good for grounding before you go to sleep, reducing overwhelm in real time. So let's say, you're teaching your kiddos, and oh boy, are they being loud and overstimulating. Box breathing, tap in, tap in. Because the thing is, we can't enter a space when we're overwhelmed and try to regulate others. If we are not regulated, how do you expect to regulate others? Seriously. Next one, belly breathing. So this one is essentially where you place one hand on the belly and you breathe deeply into the lower lung areas. Your belly's going to rise on the inhale and then fall on the exhale. You're going to strengthen your diaphragm from doing this to support deeper breathing. A lot of the times, when people get told to breathe or take a deep breath, it's very short. Well, if your breath is short, you might need to practice breathing a little bit more. Take that deep breath, right? And on top of this, too, when you're practicing this breath work, do not judge yourself. Do not judge yourself, because the thing is, we all got to start somewhere, right? No one is perfect right off the bat. It takes practice. And on top of that, too, with that practice, non judgment. Whatever comes up, allow that to come up. It's coming up for a reason, for your awareness to go, hey, this is how I'm feeling right now. Hey, this is something you've been holding on to. Allow it to come up, acknowledge it, let it pass. Belly breathing also reduces muscle tension in the chest and the neck. I know a lot of people out here, when especially we are not allowed to voice our opinions and speak our truth, we are clenching our necks. And oh boy, does that tension linger. And then also, too, when we are holding on to something within our hearts, oh yeah, we have that tension in our chest region too. This kind of breathing also helps regulate emotions and soothe anxiety. And on top of it, too, supports digestion. So, this is good for ongoing stress management, trauma recovery, and reconnecting with the body, because it is going deeper within the belly. There's also this last one that we have on here, which is the release breath. So, all this one is, remember how I said audible earlier? Inhale through the nose, out of the mouth. And you can do it as loud as you want. You can do it as soft as you want. But again, I encourage the audibleness as long as there's a sigh with it. So this is letting go of any tension and emotional buildup within the body. It signals to the body as well that it is safe to let go. And this can interrupt any spiraling thoughts and allow the body to reset very quickly. So, when we get in those spirals or that panic and it's like, do, 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 and you're like, oh God, I can't stop this. Take that deep breath and just exhale it. Be loud about it. It's okay. Take up space. So this is really good for those moments of frustration, whether you're in that traffic jam, maybe you're in a conflict with someone that you love and care about. Maybe you're overstimulated in the world, and or maybe you're going through some sort of transition, whether that's transition in life, transitioning from waking up in the morning and having to start your day. Maybe it's coming home from work after a rough day and now you're entering your space. Take that deep breath and just out of your system.
These are all amazing tips. I know I use the boxing a lot and I use the release breath. So I'm not sure if anyone is familiar, but there's a video. You can type it on YouTube of the Grinch doing yoga. That's a funny, funny video. Please watch it on your leisure because I was gonna try to find it right now, but I'm not. It is hilarious. It's old, but
I
I
know exactly
always
which one you're talking about.
yes, because he was a little messed up, a lot messed up, okay? Because he did not he heard the directions, but the way his body was responding or needed to release, it naturally just released the way that it felt.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to allow your body to do what it needs to do to release. So
Mm-hmm.
again, tapping into that. This is deep level. This is deep connection we're talking about, okay, with self. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people have a hard time with dealing with self. But why are you having a hard time dealing with self? That's a question that you have to ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not allowing myself the grace to do this? Like you said, no judgment, right? Because when I started doing the breath work, I use Calm. So there's a Calm app out there called Calm, but on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, there's a 10-minute meditation by Calm that you can use. No ads, no none of that. Just type in that, click it. You have 10 minutes to just reset. And I use that all the time. I started doing that before I went into deeper level of meditation and trauma release. So I started before I started, y'all. Did y'all hear me? I started before I started, so there's no excuse. So, and that was my only outlet at the time was to release myself, so I'm able to think better. I know I have a lot going on. I wear many hats, so you have to be mindful of, okay, what triggers me, what's
Mm,
stressing me out. Okay, I need to go ahead and do a 5 minute meditation because you know you're understanding your triggers when it's about to come up. So you got to lean into that. Don't carry that stress no more. You shouldn't have to carry that. Why are you doing that when you can use 5 minutes out your day to just reset, like Paige said? So I do it. You can do it. People are asking me, what am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Taking time out, getting on social media, staying away from my phone, setting boundaries with people,
hmm
dismissing people. Okay, because if it's not growing you, it's hindering you.
mm.
All right, I want you to remember that, and remember that these are just some of the typical ones that people use. So with that being said, I'm in the wrong way. Hold on, Lord. Okay. So guided practice. So do you want to take us through an example of what's going to be happening during the retreat? Little team.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we could do a guided practice for the, hmm, let's see. So we could do a cycle for the box breathing.
Okay.
So essentially, I'm just going to do this one for a couple minutes. So you could tell me when to stop this one because I'm just going to guide it because I know we got a timer going on us.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So yeah, can you do 2 minutes?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'm gonna start that right now. So as we begin to settle into our bodies, we can either do this practice with eyes open, eyes softly closed, whatever feels safe and comfortable. I want everyone to be aware as well that when we are entering this practice, that if you begin to feel dizzy or overwhelmed, you can stop at any moment. But I want us to start just by taking some soft inhales through the nose and then exhaling through the mouth. Just checking in with ourselves to see where we're at, see where we're carrying any tension within the body. We could start from the feet, going up towards the head, or we can even start at the head and work our way down. And once we are done with that, we can begin to inhale for 4 seconds, and I will count and guide you along the way. So inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to hold for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling now for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding again for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll do that one more time. Inhaling for 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we can go back to our normal breath, checking in with ourselves, seeing how just those 2 cycles has made us feel. And it's okay if you don't feel any different. Mind you, that just might mean that you need to go a little bit longer, and that's absolutely okay. You might also need to do a different kind of breathwork practice. That is okay. Again, there are different practices for all of us, for whatever our needs are. And again, this is just the beginning for some of you. Remember that no matter where you start, it's not going to be perfect at first. But again, just taking that first step, that's all that matters. And mind you, just pausing whenever we get that thought of, oh, I need to breathe, take that breath. Just take that breath. That is the first step.
Yes, thank you for that because I didn't get a chance to read the day. No, and I'm doing a lot of movement. Like I didn't get a chance to really break like during this break.
Hmm.
Not knowing mindful, not the mirror. Here we are.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you all, because this is the part of our pre-word before the retreat, I didn't want to just bombard you all during the retreat with all this information. I wanted to be very intentional about what you're going to be learning because I wish I would have known all of this during my year of the contact list. Like all these things that I had to learn over time. I'm like, man, I could have been doing all this before, but I'm grateful that I'm able to share what I've been doing and collaborate with those around me. So I want to challenge you, those who are going to watch this replay, I want to challenge you this coming week to journal. I know a lot of people don't have time to write, but you do have time to log on social media. Okay. So
Mm.
I want you to log each day your breath work. Okay. I want you to log the next 7 days, you know, what's going on. Like she said, do the 5 minutes, do the 10 minutes I told you about. Again, on YouTube, just type in calm or meditation 10 minutes, put calm on there. It should come up. It's going to be like a blue waterfall or water you're going to see. And that's the one I use. Okay. So use that if you want to do 10 minutes. If your body can't regulate to that yet, do 5, do 2 minutes. But
Hmm.
that give yourself the grace to get up to that point. Okay. And then of course, number 2, what shifts in your body when you breathe intentionally? That is a deep question.
Mm.
That's a now you're going to be working on, okay, focusing on the breath.
I
Okay,
love that one.
because even when you are focusing on the breath, stuff come up. Or when it's fighting you, your nervous system is fighting, your mind is fighting you because you're trying to regulate through breathing. And I know all about that. So again, give yourself that grace in the process. Again, it takes time, like you said. It's not gonna happen overnight, but give yourself that time to do that because you're learning yourself all over again. Like this is new. Anytime you do anything new, your body, your nervous system is going to fight against it. Okay, no
Hmm.
matter what it is. Okay, if you're coming away from smoking, drinking, sex, again, your body is going to be fighting against that because our body, the scripture says that our flesh knows no good thing. Hello, somebody. This is where the scripture is alive. Right here, when we're starting to do things differently in the sight of God. Because again, God is not in where we're comfortable at. He's in the uncomfortable. You still, again, you got to get to his nature. This is his nature, getting back to self, being
Mm.
grounded. Because you really can't hear God until you start breathing.
Mm.
That's the truth. Like we're taking on responsibilities that are not ours. That's ghetto. God didn't say do that. Like what? So I'm stepping on somebody's toes in the spirit because there are some things that God has not called us to, and we are putting that on us. And then we're saying, God, deliver us. No, deliver yourself out of that. Say no, set boundaries. I don't know why I'm going here, Paige, but I feel it. Like this is all a part of that. When you start doing breath work, you start seeing like where your where everything lies at, where your true nature is.
Hmm.
You know, and there's
Hmm.
nothing wrong with helping people, but there should be limitations to it because I don't want you all having unnecessary heart attacks and strokes.
One of the best things to even tap into that is the airplane and the mask analogy. You got to put your mask on first before you go and help others. Otherwise, you're going to kill yourself in the process.
Yes, that is the honest to God truth.
Hmm.
So here's my takeaway challenge. I want you to commit to 5 minutes. I said 2, but let's do 5 because you've lasted this long in this video. You can do 5 minutes of intentional breathing each day. So again, make sure you journal or even put a paper up and say, okay, this is week 1. This is what I'm doing. And I want to challenge you to do it every single week. Because again, if you do this all the way up into the retreat, you're gonna become a master, okay, at breath work because you're making it a part of your routine when you wake up in the morning or when you go to bed at night. All right. So I appreciate Paige for being on today. We had quite a few people who were on today, like watching, listening. If you have questions, don't hesitate to comment below. We're going to respond to everyone who's tapping in with us. And we have another sneak peek of our guest who's going to be a part of our conference. Her name is DM Bolden. She just got married. Yes, I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about grieving relationships this
Mm.
Wednesday. This Wednesday. So we were supposed to meet with, and I apologize, you all. Paige and I was supposed to tap in with you guys a few weeks ago, but we had to do it. We had a lot going on, and I'm glad that she took out her Sunday to tap in with us to share her expertise. And it kind of spilled into our new segment, which will be on grieving relationships, which I feel like is still around the same time of year. People are grieving different areas of grief, not just people who have passed on, but people who are living. Okay,
Hmm.
we're talking about people who are alive, not unalive. Okay, so we want to talk about how do we navigate? Because again, when you start healing the right way, you got to start grieving what was not there from a lot of these people. I know I did it personally and professionally. Okay. So I'm not going to share anything with you all that I'm not doing. Okay. So y'all make sure this Wednesday you guys tap in with us. We will have notes for you all to take as well. And another challenge to add on to what you're doing with the breath work. You're going to need the breath work dealing with grief.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh,
Heavy on the
yes.
breath work for this because, woo, child, I had to start seeing people for who they were not and being okay with that.
That requires a couple deep breaths.
Okay, I had yes, I had a couple situations. I'm like, oh, I gotta get together. Yes, but I don't want to spill the beans too much. Tell the people why should they invest in coming to the retreat in March?
To heal. Like, what? Invest in yourself. We invest in food. We invest in all these material things. We invest in experiences. You want to experience something? Go experience yourself. Go experience healing with a good group of people that know what they're walking the talk. So why not surround yourself with people that are doing the work? Have actual authentic conversations with people who are doing the work. You know, they're not going to feed you lies. We live in a very, very influential society nowadays. You get on social media, they're trying to sell you a product, right? Do you think they're actually using that product? Do you actually think they're doing the work? No, no. The retreat will be you with people who are doing the work and want to be doing the work. This isn't about people that are just going to dabble in it to be like, oh, what is this about? This is people who are want to be intentional and people that want to be authentic, that want to see the truth, that want to see the truth within themselves. That's
Mm-hmm.
the purpose of this retreat, is to
And
be around like-minded individuals that want to do the healing work.
I appreciate that. And I want to just add to this because people are confused. I People know me as the relationship lady, and I'm here to tell you if you don't know who you are, why should someone waste their time and energy being around you?
Mm,
The most important relationship that you will ever, always confront is the one with yourself. So, your girl, Neek, I am doing the work on myself. But in order for me to be ready for the man that God has for me, I better make sure my house and temple and everything else is in order so that I am a suitable helpmate to him. But I
mm,
can't do that being in everybody's face, being watching other people and seeing that they're not actually really doing the work or helping themselves or actually releasing themselves from trauma. So you have to put yourself in position to hear God in order to understand what's required of you. And this type of work that I'm doing, everybody not invited to the cookout because you know why? It's going to reveal them who they really are, and that's okay. Like again, it's not for everybody, and I'm not expecting to grab droves of people, but people who are ready to really tap into themselves should definitely come to the retreat. You who are a seeker, if you're a seeker, this is for you. If you're not a seeker, if you like surface level content, surface level conversations, keep going to all those podcast things, and no one's knocking other people and what they're doing, because again, they are all on the surface. They're not on the deep. If they were on the deep, they'll be over here with us. But this over here, it's real time work that you have to do. And you have to want to do it. And there was one thing I wanted to add to this before we go off. Last week I was my kids were in recess and they were talking about who was afraid of the dark. And I'm listening. I'm like, okay. And they brought it up again at dismissal. And so my one student, and I love how my students they start to pick up my language. Let me explain this, Miss Langston, to you. I'm like, okay, but explain to me. He said, I'm not afraid of the dark. He said, if you turn the lights on right now, dark, well, it's black. Okay, that's fine. But it's not that. It's what's in it. And I dropped everything. I said, say what? He said, I'm not afraid of the actual dark, Miss Langston. I'm afraid of what's in it. And I said, young man, you don't even know how well you're preaching. And he's 10 years old. And remember, kids, their bodies are still flexible. Their fascia is still vibrant. They're still learning, engaging, and they don't have bills and stressors. So they're able to see things that we don't. I hope it's helping somebody right now. And that made me think about people who are afraid of doing this work. You are walking with your eyes wide shut because you see a difference in Neek and you're trying to figure out how can I bypass the process. You can't. It's you find yourself in the process of healing, in the reflecting, in seeing where you were, where you are, starting with that child, that inner child in you. So I'm giving y'all content that I shouldn't be giving you because you should be coming to the retreat. But it starts with you. Now, are we going to be talking about relationships during our retreat? Absolutely. But in order for you to really supercharge and make drastic changes, in your life, what I'm saying to you, even right now, is going over your head because you're not doing the work. So why would I even do another conference or panel discussion or workshops on relationships if you're going to go back out there and do the same crap again? I refuse to have those type of people on my platform. Or no, we're not doing that. When you come, you're going to walk away literally set free, like not on a high, but your body, your mindset, everything. When you walk away from our conference, our retreat, every single day, because again, we're going to be doing this for a whole weekend, something different is going to be about you. The old you is going to be gone. And again, every single day, a release, your old you is gone. So now your mindset is being rewired. So now you can see clear on your direction of the relationships that you're supposed to build. That's the whole purpose of this conference or this retreat, is to help you see yourself so that you can embrace what God truly has for you. But you got to love you more. And I love me more now than I did before all of this. So I had to share that to give you guys some context as to why I'm doing the relationship conference in this matter. I got to follow the Holy Spirit, not people's feelings or what people want to hear. Now, I'm going to tell you what you don't want to hear. I don't want to gatekeep. And so I will say that if you missed the preview, shame on you, because the women walked out of there. I'm still getting testimonies from them, what's happening with them and their emotions and how they are ready for the next thing we have coming up. So I'm excited. Again, thank you, Paige, so much for being on. No one's wrote anything in the chat, but the people were on today. So I again, don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed already. Let people know that we're going to be talking about grieving relationships on this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share this video. If you know anyone who's dealing with issues of stress, they definitely want to tap in and get some pointers when it comes to breath work and why this is important. If you're wearing many hats, make sure you rewatch this. All right, you all. Love you. Thank you guys for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you guys next week.